fait application, maintenant il y a des par les médecins, selon le mois. Après ça, on pouvait dans un mois, on bénéficie bien, moins, espérer beaucoup. Et vous trouvez là, bien, la fait bien correct. En position de c'est bon. C'est ça, c'est un petit avantage dans la politique là.
On behalf of the Ministry of Energy and Public Utilities, I have the pleasure to welcome you to this launching ceremony of the Renewable Energy Roadmap 2030 for the electricity sector. Since 2014, the country has seen a marked shift in policy in the energy sector, with considerable impetus given to the use of local renewable sources, such as solar electricity, wind, and biomass energy from sugarcane trash to supplement bagasse energy. In addition, government took bold pledges in the context of the 2050 Paris Agreement on climate change to decarbonize the energy sector. The achievements as of date speak for themselves in terms of the benefits reaped from such a paradigm shift in renewable energy policy, and we are well on track to fulfill our Paris pledges. Such achievements, ladies and gentlemen, would not have been possible without a clear vision and the strong leadership of the Honorable Deputy Prime Minister in promoting more renewable electricity. Building on this success, the Ministry of Energy and Public Utilities has developed the 2030 roadmap, which has been approved by government and is being launched today. With these few words, I now have the honor and privilege to invite the Honorable Deputy Prime Minister to address us, please.
Thank you for being present today. We are launching the Renewable Energy Roadmap, and I welcome also the Chairman of the EEM, Mr. Kendall. Thank you. In 2015, we assumed our mandate. At that time, renewable energy was at a standstill. There was only one solar farm, very few rooftop solar panels, and no wind farm. All the renewable energy projects were in stagnation. On the other hand, Mauritius had seen a staggering increase in the use of coal for production of electricity. Between 2005 and 2014, the amount of coal used for generation increased from 340,000 tonnes to 710,000 tonnes. That is from 26% to 42.9% of the total renewable energy mix. And yet, the then government had decided that this was not enough. And it had decided to increase coal generation with the installation of a 100 megawatt coal power plant, the power plant of City Power. This was the entrenched government policy from 2005 to 2014. I don't know how to describe it, but some have called it irresponsibility. I shall stick to that word, although the temptation is very strong to use other words. At the end of 2014, there was a difficult decision to take. 100 megawatt was going to be in short supply. All the agreements had been signed with City Power, except the implementation agreement, which was a crucial agreement. And that was a commitment which would have required government to outlay a lot of public money. The political decision had to be taken, and it was taken. I will not go into the details, except to commend you the reading of the judgment of the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council in the matter of city tower, after we appealed to the Privy Council against the decision of the Supreme Court. In its 2015-2019 program, it stated its intention to launch a renewable energy program so as to encourage the production of energy from renewable sources. We reiterated this commitment at the Conference of Parties 21, COP21, in 2015 in Paris. We pledged in our nationally determined contribution to reduce our emissions from 30% by 2030. And one of the key mitigation actions was the expansion in solar, wind, and biomass energy production and other renewable energy. In his last budget speech, the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance stated that government was soon to present a renewable energy roadmap to optimize the use of renewable sources of energy and also to facilitate private investment in the renewable energy sector. We are pleased today, and I am proud to present the roadmap for renewable energy. It was long awaited. The preparation of that document required careful analysis, extensive consultations and studies to collect data which would help to define strategies for specific technologies. If I can give one example, it is the wave energy resource assessment by Carnegie Clean Energy Limited of Australia, which involved collection and analysis of data over a period of more than 12 months. Seminars, workshops had to be conducted in order to obtain a consensual approach. My technical staff and advisors had to update drafts, taking into account all the major international developments in the energy sector. The most momentous development was the creation of the International Solar Alliance. This was announced jointly by Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India and President François Hollande of France at COP21. The aim was to create an international alliance of solar resource countries between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. That is, countries where solar irradiation is at its highest, but where fossil fuels are utilized to the maximum for the production of energy and electricity. This alliance has gained so much prominence that it is today open to all member states of the UN. The alliance aims to invest $1 trillion raised from public and private investors for solar projects to provide 1 trillion watts of solar energy. $1 per watt. Mauritius is working closely with the International Solar Alliance, which is headquartered in New Delhi. I have attended all the assembly meetings of the Alliance, and the most important event was the launching of the Alliance by Prime Minister Modi and President Macron in New Delhi in March 2018. 56 countries have signed the document founding the Alliance, and Minister Raj Kumar Singh is an active participant in that alliance. We've also been playing an active role in the International Renewable Energy Agency, IRENA. We've been soliciting IRENA for advice on the roadmap and on strategies related to the development of renewable energy, especially in small islands like ours. During the time that we took to prepare the roadmap, we did not operate in a vacuum. We were guided constantly by the 2013 report of the National Energy Commission, chaired by Mr. Dev Malraj, and entitled Making the Right Choice for a Sustainable Energy Future. This document had recommended valuable pathways for the development of renewable energy in Mauritius, but had unfortunately not been subject of serious consideration prior to 2015. We also took several critical decisions to give a strong impulse to renewable energy. For instance, the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance introduced fiscal incentives. We simplified procedures for approval of renewable energy projects, and we set up the Mauritius Renewable Energy Agency, and I here salute the presence of Mr. Ragobat, the Chief Executive Officer. In 2015, with the support of UNDP, we presented a project entitled Accelerating the Transformational Shift to a Low-Carbon Economy to the Green Climate Fund. And in 2016, our project was approved, and Mauritius was among the first countries to receive a grant from the fund amounting to $28 million, that is 1 billion rupees. The Green Climate Fund is supporting government to achieve its target of 35% renewable energy by 2025. It will finance the installation of battery energy storage system to absorb up to 185 megawatt of renewable energy. It will finance the smart grid, installation of 300 PV mini-grids at Aganega, and a total of 25 megawatt rooftop solar PVs for households, buildings, and public institutions, as well as NGOs. Finally, it will also finance the preparation of a national grid code. As a consequence of government strategic decisions, renewable energy has made significant advances. During these last 4.5 years, we have 1 wind farm and 8 new solar farms, which have become operational. 2 other solar farms are due to be completed by next year. 2,500, more than 2,500 rooftop solar systems have been installed in large commercial buildings, residential buildings, cooperatives, and SMEs. 4 megawatt battery state storage has been installed and will be further increased to 18 megawatt by 2020. This will increase the integration of renewable energy into the grid. And the home solar project, introduced in 2017. It was selected first among 86 entries by IRENA and the Abu Dhabi Fund for Development for financing of 10 million USD, 10 million rupees. 10,000 solar panels will be installed on houses of low-income families who will benefit from 50 kilowatt hours per month of free electricity over a period of 20 years. 1,000 solar panels have been installed. CEB set up the CEB Green Energy Company Limited. Mr. Maj Dayal is its general manager, and it is a subsidiary of Central Electricity Board. It has an explicit mission, that is to implement renewable energy projects. The company has already set up a solar farm in Henrietta, which is operational. A waste-to-energy power plant project with 1,000 tons of waste daily. The upgrading of Sanssouci Dam to increase power generation by 3 gigawatt and 1 megawatt solar park at Grenade Rodrigues are planned for implementation. Government has introduced incentives to encourage small farmers to continue producing sugarcane and therefore ensure the use of bagasse and cane trash for electricity generation. Biomass energy using bagasse and cane trash is expected to increase from 312 gigawatt hour in 2018 to 508 gigawatt hours in 2025 and 532 gigawatt hours in 2030. The installed capacity for solar energy has progressed from 18 megawatt in 2014 to 95 megawatts, and it is set to increase to about 160 megawatt by 2020. Solar energy will account for about 8% contribution to the electricity mix by 2020 from less than 1% in 2014. The roadmap highlights that the target of 35% renewable energy in the electricity mix will be achieved with an additional 396 gigawatt hour of renewable energy by 2025. We may even reach 40% if wave energy and offshore wind become commercially sustainable, or if other new affordable technologies are developed. I wish to thank all the stakeholders from public institutions, the private sector, and NGOs, as well as international development partners, especially UNDP and l'Agence Française de Développement, as well as the International Renewable Energy Agency for its guidance. And finally, my thanks go to all the officers of my ministry, and the Central Electricity Board, and the CEP Green Energy Company Limited for their assistance in preparing the roadmap. I thank you for your attention.
You to allow me to give me the opportunity to make a small presentation. Most of the things have already been said, but I'll just go very graphically through what is the gist of the roadmap. It's in 10-15 minutes, so I won't be too long. So I'll go very fast. So I'll just touch up on the objective, then proceeding the methodology. There's a 4-step methodology we've used to develop the roadmap, and looking at the various potential sources that we have already indicated. And we see how we are going to move from 20.7% of renewable energy in 2018 already. We reach 25% in 2020, 35% as we say, and 40%, which is quite a bold target by 2040. And before I conclude in the recommendations, is to look at the enabling environment, which has been alluded to by the Honourable Deputy Prime Minister, of what we are doing particularly for biomass. So the objective of the roadmap, obviously, is to improve the energy security of the country. And for various reasons, we've got local sources to use them. And concomitantly, it allows us to be less dependent on external sources. And also, there is the Paris Agreement with pledges to reduce our CO2. So this is what underpins the objective of the roadmap. In terms of methodology, we use a 4-step. It's quite complicated, we'll try to simplify it. We develop a tool to make analysis for the 35%, how we get the optimal combination of technologies for 35% 2025. And then we analyze a range of percentages between 35 to 60%, and we've seen that 40% is the optimal one in 2030, as I explained later on. And then there's a litmus test that all these combinations that we analyze have to pass. And also, obviously, as the MOFED always says, everything has to make economic sense. So it has to be the least economic cost, what we're proposing. And also, we have to ensure that this renewable energy, whatever portfolio we're proposing, combined with conventional sources, there is enough supply. Otherwise, without supply, this is the only commodity where supply has to exactly meet demand. So just to memorize these numbers, 2018 were 468 in terms of power demand. We'll be reaching 606 in 2030. So it's about 138 megawatt of additional power that we can provide. Energy will be here, and we'll be adding 950 gigawatt hour to reach 3775. So just keep these two numbers there to refer to them as I go along. So this is what is the litmus test. As I said, if you look here for 2018, we had some 400, the peak demand. This is the hours in a year. I just simplify it. And then this is the energy, which is the 2018 is this amount of energy, and 2030 is this amount of energy, which includes industrial. And so, what is more important is that on, the different technologies, they fit in only different part of the curve. E.g., solar energy cannot provide this lower part of the curve. It goes into this in the middle. And for the peak here, we usually use hydro storage or gas turbines at the cooling. So we should not reason in average energy. There are three distinct types of energy. One is for the peak, which I'm going to call the upper part of the curve, and then the middle part of the curve, the semi-base, which I'm going to refer to. For example, solar goes in here. And then the base, which is the 65% of the area, is the base energy. And I should refer to it as I go along for different sources. So let us look at the sources. Already said by the Honorable DPM, gas, very important in the strategy of government. Solar energy, key, 68% will be reaching by 2020. Hydro will be adding some 3 more from this. Landfill gas is nearly saturated, about 23 gigawatt hour. Onshore wind, we have one plant already in the north, and we'll be having another one near Maurice. Waste energy will be coming down in a couple of years. Very important in our strategy to reach 35% by 2025 and 40%. This waste energy is very important, as I say. Honorable Prime Minister, we need 1,000 tons, which has already been approved by government. And also the wave energy, hopefully we'll have the technology by 2030. So this is the portfolio of technology, but we'll see how we combine them to reach our targets of 35% and 40%. So as I already said, bagasse, Honorable Prime Minister, 310 will reach to 350 and 8,500. So we'll be going from about 11 to 15%. And already government has taken a raft of measures. I shall see later on before I complete my presentation. I'll indicate those. There are a lot of measures that have taken for bagasse to be sustained, and even cane crush. So this is a bit to the three companies, and already there is a project here to renew this, which is going to add efficiency for getting more bagasse energy. Now the solar energy, as I said, this is key to our will be probably 8% and 13% here. This map shows that we've got potential of solar energy almost throughout the island, but the red shows that the north is the best, and then in the east, but the whole island has got good potential, with the north obviously having the best one. So we are going to use this to reach 13.7 by 2030 from 8% to 2020, already with a number of projects ongoing. Waste energy, 1,000 tons per day, already approved by government, so these are transfer stations. So we'll be getting about 140 gigawatt hour over the next couple of years. Discussions already ongoing. And it will contribute about 4% over the time. So it's very key. This 4% looks a bit, but it's quite important in our total 35% by 2025 and 40% by 2040. This is the onshore wind inland. This is the height, 60 meters. This is approximately the height for the north wind pond. You can see there's good potential in this color here. There's good potential. And at height of more than 100 meters, which is going to be the case at the Pensophie. So you look at the energy in the highest bracket. The higher you go, the better you get wind energy. So this is a bit what will contribute to the contribution, about 2% already by 2030, and we maintain it slightly more by this horizon 2030. So wind is another important component of our resources. This one, yeah, this is onshore wind. Now offshore wind in the sea. This is also being said that the technology is already available in Scotland. They are producing from offshore wind, but we are not because the cost is very high. But all what is being predicted by the IRENA, what they forecast is the prices are going to go down and they become reasonable in the longer term. So we expect this will have a contribution in this technology. So the best resource is up north here, but this is too far. According to research by MRC, the plant could be located here or here. Okay? And the roadmap provides for this about 22 megawatt, with 2.4% contribution by 2030 for investment of about 3.5 billion. So this is another source that goes in the roadmap. The wave energy indicated by the Mercredi Renewable the way we've got good potential here, look at the color. This is the highest. So this is where you get from here to here. So if there is a plant, the roadmap provides for this. So the roadmap is quite innovative in looking at new technologies. Of course, there will be detailed studies of where to locate it. But if there is a wave plant of a size of 20, it's going to be located somewhere here. So this country is very much endowed, Mauritius, with a lot of resources in different forms, but it's a question of time, it's a question of cost. So economic costs, we've tested, we were obliged to by Mofet. So you see this is 10 cents US cents, makes about 360 at current exchange rate. So if we put wave and offshore wind, the costs are a bit higher, the investment cost. But you look at the system cost, when you take it in combination with other conventional, the system cost is still quite affordable. So the roadmap is economically sustainable. It has been tested. All the calculations are in the report. And once you get the report, you see how the roadmap is economically viable. This is very important as well. If we are proposing 35%, 2025, 40%, 2030, we're going to ensure that in combination with other technologies, we don't have shortage of power. I said, this is the only commodity where supply has to follow exactly, and the nanosecond is going to follow demand. Otherwise, the system counter rate, the frequency goes up and down. So you can see there are all these whatever we have, but we have to have this combined gas cycle, open cycle, to be able to have a surplus so that we're comfortable. And in combined cycle later on, to be able to be comfortable. So the roadmap takes analysis of this, and we have to invest in the gas turbines to be able to ensure demand and supply they match. And enabling environment, there have been lots of schemes. Nearly 3,000 consumers have already been connected, and thankfully to a number of measures taken by government, and more than 10 megawatts. And this is ongoing, the schemes. Some have been closed, but they're still ongoing in terms of implementation. So you can see there's been quite substantial change over the past years with 3,000 nearly consumers connected to the grid, and these are small consumers principally. And obviously there's the home solar, which we are nearly reaching 1,000, we go to 10,000. The enabling environment. So if you are a company you're investing, in 2 years you can remove it from your corporate tax. If you're an individual, you can remove from the tax itself. So government says there is not an enabling environment. I should say the springboard for taking the implementation of the roadmap is already there. And maybe a lot of other measures will come as we go. So this is for the photovoltaic. There is zero rated, zero VAT rated. There is no VAT on any photovoltaic as access rates. Zero VAT. And also as the DPM alluded to, this has been a very important decision of simplifying. Previously, we had to go to the president to get his license for a small unit. It was very time consuming. And this simplification of the permitting process has helped in getting many people connected to it. And again, that's very important for the biomass. Government took the decision of giving equivalent of 2,500 for small planters. And now this 25,000 rupees per ton of sugar guaranteed, so that we continue to have, Honourable Minister, this biomass is very important in our strategy to maintain this to 35% in 2025 and 40% by 2030. Also, there was some sort of a fee to be paid on MSDGs. This has been removed in the last budget, and a bit of this. And there are other measures, but they are smaller ones. But these are the main ones, the key ones. And so, by way of conclusion, we're very confident to reach 25% by 2030 with the portfolio, each has got different. And 35 and then